I thought I'd take you on a tour of my front water garden. I'm sorry, my front flower garden. Now that we're in a drought, we're only allowed to water twice a week. So the things that I'm growing have changed to things that are more drought tolerant. Not because I changed what I grew, the stuff that wasn't drought tolerant died. So it made its choice. I've been enjoying my flowers here, and I'm going to plant some more of these because they're drought tolerant. I've been actually cutting them. This is a cutting garden for me. So I've been cutting them and bringing them in the house. I think I've cut them all now. Yeah, it was great fun. This plant is struggling with only twice a week water. It really needs 3 times a week water. And we get no summer water, so it's not getting any help. You see the leaves are a little dried out. Some of the flowers even come out dry. Look at this one. This light color is not normal. It's supposed to be this dark color, but it just kind of looks antique-y. And that's all water damage. That's it. If we had more water, if we didn't have a drought this year, it would have been twice this size and very large. Then we have some more. This is very drought tolerant. You see it has no stress damage. They all flower. You see where I cut off the flower. And I'm just letting them grow so that they can produce more bulbs. I'll show you the bulb down there. Yeah, see how they just grow out on the surface? They're just fine. Twice a week water. They could probably go down to once a week water. And this is my milkweed, one of them. This was the first one I planted. And it usually gets eaten down by now. It's not eaten down, which is really weird to me. It's got leaves on it still. So strange. Nothing there. I cut back these plants so that they can have a more orderly show and require less water. And since they are a vine, they're a Confederate jasmine. You can see the flowers on them in their season. I have other videos. You can look them up if you choose to. I planted my begonias in the shade. So if we have more water, I can plant them in the sun, but not right now. And I have some petunias in the shade behind the begonias. So that's fine. Since I'm not watering the veg garden, I put some ornamentals here that I would have put in the veg garden. These are eggplant. Yeah, I know it looks tiny. That was a spare they gave me in the pot. This is Russian sage. It grows very well in partial shade in my area. And I cut it down. And as you can see, it's re-sprouting from its base nicely. You see how it's sprouting out from its base. These parts of the leaves would never have had limbs on it if I kept cutting it. But since I cut it back, it is sprouting from there. So if you get one that gets large because it's pretty on your area, keep in mind if it has a good root system, you can do that. And then that's a California fern. Doing very well in partial sun. This is a sunny location for the fern. But when this plant, the Russian sage, gets bigger, then that'll get more shade. But in either, is it struggling from getting that? Yeah, it's struggling a little, but I think it'll make it. Yeah, it's used to more shade than that, but not for now. Maybe we can help it out a little by doing this. And then here's my other eggplant, which I'm using as an ornamental. Look at that beautiful purple root on there. Let's see, what else have we got here? Here's another strange ornamental. Corn. I think this is ornamental corn. I was at the nursery and they had it in the ornamental section. It's not, it's green. And you see this is a more shady spot here, so that should do better. Then we get to a sunny spot, and this is morning sun. This is a Grosso lavender I planted, and it got this new branch on it, which means it's doing fine. That's great. With lavenders, planting them at this time of year, you never know. Might not do so well. But that one's doing fine. And over here, these begonias, I'll show you those. This is not good light to show you those. This is a native plant that grew on its own. The birds drop seeds for this plant all over the place. And I'm having to correct this one. It started leaning forward. I don't want it to do that. Okay, so, and that is slow growing. I let it grow until it gets the size I can handle, and then I cut it off. And once you cut it, it will stay the size that you cut it to. Well, I keep cutting it, but it pretty much stays the size that I want it to. I don't know how big it would get if I didn't cut it, but it grows really, really slow. And I see ants on it, so, and there's no flowers. I've never had it long enough for it to flower, but it's drought tolerant. So let's see. Here's my old hedge. I don't know what it is. This was here when I got here. Here's another one of these, adding a little height to the space. This is tobacco. It flowers all the time. So it's a pink one, flowers all the time. I got some dark purple ones. They never hardly flower, so I wouldn't recommend getting the purple ones. They don't flower as well as the pink ones. You see, I have two purple ones, and all the flowers are coming from this one. This is one plant. They were all planted at the same time. That plant is over a foot wide. This is Lobella. It died back when the summer came, but now it's kind of sprouting again. And there's some grass growing in there. Let me just pull that out of the way. If you look at some of my older videos, it covered the space, but not in summer. But this is a good show to me. This is a really good show. Look at those cute little flowers. And it's a perennial in my area. The gardener mowed this spot thinking that it would be like grass and he could just shorten it for me. It's not like grass. It's covering the space, but as you can see, it is not growing in the space like grass. That's why I have it in the flower garden. You can plant things through it. This is dianthus. It's taking a little break, but it will flower again. And I got these little shorties in here to add a little color to this during the summer, you know, the California summer of August and September. I just got this at the nursery. I'll see how well it does here. It's Angelina, and it also has these little cute little orchid-like flowers. I thought that was pretty. And I see that the little creatures that come in the night have already come over and examined it, because that's the reason why the branches are going down. Look at this beautiful orchid. This is Vancouver or Canada. I'm not orchid. It's Pelargorum. It's Vancouver or Canada, one of the two. Just wonderful. More of these. This is one I didn't cut. I just didn't get to it in time because, as you can see, I have so many. These are my bearded iris. These are a dwarf form. I really like them. I like the color. And they are drought tolerant. They need some summer water. I'll show you some that are in an area that gets no summer water, and you'll see the difference. This is my agapanthus. That again was a surprise. I thought I was getting a daylily, and then when it got big enough, it turned out to be a dwarf agapanthus. I am ecstatic. I wanted an agapanthus, but I thought they were too big, and so the garden shop where I shop had that, and I made a mistake and got something I really wanted that I didn't know existed. Here's my lavender. You can see how I cut it off, and some of you guys probably thought it was, you weren't so sure about me. But as you can see, it sprouted from the root, and the plant is a new plant is growing from the base root system and filling out. These right here, nothing's going to grow there, but they become like a frog for the plant. You know, they become like a frog that the plant will grow through. The plant gets big, 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 big. Me attempting to put a Munstead in doesn't look like I got it. Doesn't look like it made it. I think I might see one little live spot on it. So I'll just keep hope alive and see what happens. And if nothing else in the wintertime, I'll be back to plant another Munstead in that corner. This is my old plant here. Yeah, which I found out, it was sold to me as Munstead, but it is not. It's probably more Grosso. And Grosso just seems to be able to keep a licking and keep on ticking. I showed you another Grosso I just planted, so I'll see when it blooms if they are the same plant. They look the same. Yeah. We'll see. And this Grosso is coming out nice and strong and pretty. This is more pinks. See, the pinks are doing well here. Oh, that's purslane. Thank God for some purslane. I ate all my purslane, and that's how I lost it. I planted this Hidcote lavender, and it's doing great. So, and this is far away from the water. The water is way over there. The Hidcote's over here, so I think it's pretty drought tolerant. This is another Pelagorium. In the nursery, it was this dark color like this, but it's bleaching out in the sun in my area, but it likes it. You see, it's putting on lots of flowers. I think it's a pretty one. And these are Christmas flowers. Everybody buys those at Christmas time. This one didn't flower for me after I put it in the ground, but I think next year it will. Amaryllis. Yeah, that's what those are called. And there's another one. That one flowered really pretty. And then that one flowered pretty too. So one of these is red, and one of them is red and white, and those flowered. But this one is pink, and that one didn't flower this year. Then I have another butterfly plant, which seems to be full of aphids and ladybugs. I have to check this because we do have a gardener, and gardeners sometimes think they're doing something killing your bugs, and they don't realize some of us want our bugs. It looks like it might have been killed. I was very happy with the aphids and the ladybugs. If he sprayed it, that means I won't get any caterpillars either. So it looks sprayed. Yeah, see that? Bummer. Oh well, God will make a way. And here's more lavender. These are Spanish lavenders. Everybody says they flower all the time. Not in drought areas. I cut it back. It flowers in the winter when I have rain. Back here gets no summer water unless I decide to come out and throw some water on it, but I rarely do. And then this is what this plant, this iris, looks like in an area with no water. I had them all planted along here, and this is the only one that has survived. And as you can see, it's not really strong, but it did put out a new plant, so I'm gonna leave it. You know, maybe I'll come out here and throw some water on it just to keep it alive for the month of August. And this is a large geranium, a pelargorum. Has a red flower, rarely flowers, you know, just every blue moon you see a flower on it. And these were probably a more original plant, but it covers a lot of space. It is drought tolerant. I just cut it back. This is a branch that I left because I liked the way it was growing on the ground, and it's the only branch with a flower. And over here, this is a Stewart. Shoot, I forgot the name of that plant, but it's Stewart. It's supposed to be bicolored, but as you can see, it's coming in green like all of my bicolored Stewarts did. But such is life. I'm happy. It's alive. You know, it lost the original branch, and it's got two little ones. I do come over here like every 2 weeks and throw some water on that, and that's how it's got those two branches. So I'm gonna keep on doing that for the rest of the drought in August. So that is today's video. I'll show you the other flower garden in the next one, the shade garden.